How did I regrow my hair with a hair transplant? And here's a picture of me before, and here's a picture of me after. And as you can see now, I have full set of hair. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about specific steps that I did to regrow back my own hair. Quick introduction, my name is Alex. I'm previously hair loss sufferer who is able to regrow back my own hair. I'm also a certified trichologist. So today's video will be about specific action steps that you can implement in your treatment to recover your hair. And I want to start with foundation first. And what I mean by foundation is that there are specific steps you need to follow that is basically universal for everyone to have a foundation of hair regrowth. And step one is address hair shedding. So we want to have a shed that is low and stable. So if your shed, for example, is fluctuating, or it is on the high range, or it is a shed that has a different length of the hairs that are shedding, then you likely need to work on underlying problems. So for example, it could be DHT sensitivity, it could be weak hair growth cycle, it could be gut problems, and other issues, right? So you have to basically address the hair shedding and make it as low as possible. Next step to address is your scalp health. So we want to have a healthy scalp without buildups, without sebum production, without excessive scalp oil, dandruff, flakiness, redness, right? All those things will affect the effectiveness of the treatment and make it much less effective. So you want to address them first before you do any growth stimulation. This is very important, right? Because it will affect your results. And if it will affect results you will be able to achieve with, for example, growth stimulant. Next step that is important is to address your diet. You want to optimize your diet. And if you are having, for example, severe gut issues, then it is something that has to be addressed first, because it likely will affect your daily hair shed as well and cause issues there. But let's assume that your diet is a regular diet, then there is things that you can optimize. So for example, limiting sugar, addressing, for example, sugar will help you to reduce fungal activity in the skin, which will be important for scalp health. Also, you want to kind of avoid, let's say, fried foods, for example, in the vegetable oils. It can affect, for example, sebum production, excessive oil. For example, coffee can do this as well. So in some cases, one has to limit coffee or chocolate, right? Those things can affect your scalp environment in a negative way, which can be a problem. And in terms of diet itself, you want to be sure that you are getting all the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals in your diet, such as sulfur, silicon, silica, for example, B vitamins, vitamin C, also minerals that are important, such as zinc, for example, magnesium. Like all those are important for follicle growth. And you of course want to be sure that you have enough protein in your diet, because hair are made from protein. So if you lack protein, hair will not be able to grow, and that will affect your what kind of results you will be able to achieve later on when you start with growth stimulation. And you also will want to be aware of calories, for example, because calories also are important to the hair recovery as well. Next step is to select correct growth stimulant. And everyone talks about minoxidil. And minoxidil is something that I have personally used, and it is very effective to stimulate hair regrowth. But again, it's not like everyone has to use minoxidil, because there are other growth stimulants. Let's say, for example, your hair loss has been just recent, for example, or caused by factors such as stress, for example. Then you can use other type of growth stimulants, such as topical niacin, for example, that increase circulation, or melatonin, for example, that helps to keep the hair longer in growth phase. Or if you have hair loss that is more like an inflammatory, like microinflammatory problems, and for example, lantepros can be an option as well. So there are options for growth stimulation besides minoxidil. Next step is to find a growth stimulant and also add a microneedling, right? Because microneedling, what it will do with growth stimulation is that it will makes it more effective. It will increase absorption of growth stimulant, and that's way it will be able to reach the follicles faster. And for me, for example, if I did just minoxidil or just growth stimulant, I didn't have any effect or recovery. But when I add microneedling to my treatment, it made a huge difference what kind of results I was able to achieve. And next step that is also important is about optimization. So we want to optimize our lifestyle, we want to manage our stress levels, we want to have a good sleep patterns, but we also want to do sports. We want to do cardio, workouts, because what they do is that they help to increase circulation, they help to increase oxygen levels, which is important for follicle health, right? Because if you are doing those things, it will make our follicles stronger, it will make hair growth cycle stronger, and it also will help to reduce DHT sensitivity and also reduce inflammatory problems as well. Right? Because, for example, sweat is important to kind of detox your body from, for example, toxins and other issues that can affect inflammatory problems or cause inflammation. So those are important steps in terms of foundation right? This is important to start with and understand it. And if you need help for it, you can get a whole rapid regrowth formula workbook where I have specifically laid out all the steps, yes, that you need to recover your own hair in a simple, easy way to follow. And you can find the link below this video for the rapid regrowth formula workbook. Next thing that I want to talk about is about practical approach of hair recovery. So what I do on weekly basis to keep and regrow my hair. And in terms of hair and scalp health, what I do is a couple times a week I apply topicals on my scalp that are not related for hair growth itself. So what I would basically do is that I would apply topicals that either moisturize my scalp or hydrate it or help with, for example, getting more volume to my hair, or address, for example, itchiness on the scalp, or overproduction of sebum or some flakiness on the scalp. I would apply different topicals during a week. And I do it on a weekly basis couple times. Like, for example, if I want to have more volumized hair, then I would apply, let's say, like a whole egg mask on my scalp, for example. Or if I want to have more, let's say, hydration on my scalp, for example, then I would do a rosewater treatment on my scalp. Or if I want to address, for example, dandruff flakiness on my scalp or reduce some of minoxidil residue, I would apply, for example, apple cider vinegar, right? So basically there are different topicals that you can use on your scalp to help you either make hair stronger, look healthier, or even reduce daily hair shedding as well. And this is something I do, and I have been doing it on a regular basis for many years since I have been addressing my hair situation. Next practical thing I want to talk about is the shampoo, and I do use shampoo on daily basis. Once a day I do wash my hair, and if you are using light shampoo that is good for your scalp environment and doesn't contain harsh chemicals, for example, or harsh ingredients, it is okay to shampoo scalp daily, and it actually can be very helpful to keep scalp healthy and also make treatment more effective. And I use, for example, aloe vera based shampoo on daily basis, but again, in terms of shampoo, ideally you want to find a shampoo that is for your skin type and your hair type and your scalp environment. So you can use, for example, guidance workbooks that I added there to find and select correct shampoo for your situation. And then I also use a medical shampoo once a week or bi-weekly that helps to address a specific problem. And in my case, I use a zinc shampoo at the moment that helps, for example, to reduce flakiness from minoxidil, helps to basically keep my scalp clean. And that has been very helpful as well. And in some cases, for example, if there is a fungal problems on the scalp, then it could be better to use more like a medical shampoo that contains sulfur, for example, such as Jason shampoo, or for example, sodium sulfide shampoo, or Coulter, if there is more like a seborrheic dermatitis issues on the scalp with psoriasis. So there are different medical shampoos that can help. And in case if you want to use ketoconazole, for example, then I would recommend Region Port Dier, which has a 1% ketoconazole in it, and it is less harsh than, for example, Nizoral. Next step is always making sure that your scalp is without like dry and hair is dry as well. After shampoo, I always make that my hair and scalp is dry, because if the hair is not dried after, for example, shampooing and washing the hair, it can affect the effectiveness of growth stimulant you apply afterwards. So what I do is blow dryer to blow dry my hair. And it is important that you do use a high quality blow dryer, because if it is, let's say, low quality, it can cause issues for the hair itself, right? It can, for example, burn them. It can make that the hair quality and structure will get damaged. So make sure that you do use a high quality blow dryer. And if you don't have access to high quality ones, then what you can do is that you can keep a good distance between dryer on your scalp and your hair, and don't keep it in one spot for too long, right? So you don't want any burning problems afterwards. So make sure that you follow those instructions. And afterwards, and I have basically addressed made my hair and scalp dry, I would do microneedling. And I do microneedling 3 to 5 times a week, depending on my scalp feels, and also depending on the basically how my structure of my day is. And I would do light microneedling just to increase absorption of the topical. In my case, it's minoxidil. And I would do it, let's say, for a couple of minutes. And I prefer derma roller, but you have to be sure that derma roller has a real needles. You don't want to use the blades or too compact needles, because they will affect and cause dryness on the scalp or damage the skin tissue. So that's important to address it. And you can also use Dermastep and Dermapen, but I find them less convenient compared to Derma Roller. So I would suggest getting a derma roller, which I find much better. And when you have done it, I would apply minoxidil. And what I do is that I do microneedling to increase absorption of minoxidil. And if you want to know kind of more how I do it practically, you can check other videos where I have spoken about specifics when I do microneedling, how much pressure I put, what kind of roller I use, and so on. But basically I would apply minoxidil right afterwards. And I would apply 1 ml, and when I had basically my hair was in diffused pattern, I would apply 1.8 ml in the beginning of the treatment. But nowadays, for last couple of years, I have been applying just 1 ml on my scalp, and it is enough to, for example, keep my hair as it is now, and also recover from the setbacks that sometimes happen when I do something wrong in my treatment. And also, if you, for example, are using, let's say, foam, so it can be a bit harder to measure it, but usually if you are using foam, then look for days you are using the bottle of the foam, right? Usually if you are overusing it, then it will run out in around 1 month's time. But again, it depends on severity of your hair loss, right? So for example, if you have a hair loss that just is thinning out in, let's say, in temple, for example, temple area, and a bit in crown area, then that bottle should last for around 2 months, right? But if you are able to not able to squeeze that much time out of it, then likely you're over applying, which can also be a problem. And next step is that I would style my hair. And then basically like I would comb my hair first, and then around 30 minutes to 1 hour later I would style my hair in the position I would like to have it, right? And basically what I do afterwards is that I don't do any styling the next day. I just basically kind of keep my hair as it is, and that's all. And I keep minoxidil on my scalp for 24 hours. If you have, for example, sensitivity to the skin, for example, then it could be beneficial to wash it out, or you get a, for example, more flakiness or buildups more easily on your scalp, then it could be good to wash it out after when you wake up in the morning, for example. But for me, it's not a problem. I keep it until next day, and it is fully fine to next hair wash. So those are things I want to share with you guys in today's video. And for you guys who struggle with a hair loss, or treatment is not working for you, or you have excessive shedding or some scalp problems, you can reach out below this video. There is a link for where you can schedule a call with me and find out, basically we can find out and speak what is holding you back, why you're not seeing results from treatment, why you are having excessive shedding, why you are having scalp problems, and find a solution for it once and for all. So let's speak, let's find out what is holding you back and what you can do right now to recover your hair once and for all. So click on the link and we speak soon.